The castle walls groan beneath the weight of centuries, and moonlight pours through shattered glass. Servants bow in silence, afraid to even breathe in your presence. Your skin is pale, your veins burn with hunger, and the world beyond your gates trembles at the whisper of your name. You are not mortal, you are eternal. Tonight the hunt begins because you are the vampire lord. You wake to the taste of copper on your lips and the sound of thunder rolling across blackened skies. Your eyes snap open, crimson pools reflecting centuries of hunger, as lightning splits the darkness beyond towering stained glass windows. The scent hits you immediately, mortality warm and pulsing somewhere deep within your castle walls. Your fingers, pale as winter frost, grip the obsidian arms of your throne. Something is wrong. Something has dared to enter your domain uninvited. For 300 years, you've ruled from this fortress of shadows, perched on a mountain peak where the mist never lifts and the sun never penetrates. Your castle is a labyrinth of stone corridors, spiraling staircases that seem to climb into eternity, and chambers filled with treasures stolen from the graves of kings. Tapestries depicting ancient battles hang like funeral shrouds, their colors faded to the gray of old blood. Gargoyles crouch on every ledge, their stone eyes following visitors who never leave alive. This is your kingdom, your sanctuary, your tomb, and tonight, someone has breached it. You rise from your throne, silk robes flowing like liquid darkness around your frame. Each footstep echoes through the great hall as you descend marble steps worn smooth by centuries of your passage. Portraits of your victims line the walls, nobles, peasants, warriors, scholars, all frozen in their final moments of terror. Their painted eyes seem to track your movement, a gallery of the damned bearing witness to your nightly ritual. You pause before the largest portrait, a young woman with golden hair and emerald eyes, her face twisted in an expression of betrayal. Your first kill, your first taste of true power. The memory still brings a smile to your lips, revealing fangs sharp enough to pierce steel. Your castle operates like a clockwork mechanism of death and despair. By moonrise, you emerge from your chambers to patrol your domain. Servants, if you can call them that, scurry through the shadows. Some are thralls, humans drained to the edge of death and bound to your will, their eyes vacant as winter graves. Others are creatures you've collected over the centuries, wraiths that whisper secrets from beyond the veil, shadow hounds that hunt with silent paws, and gargoyles that animate at your command. They maintain your fortress, tend your needs, and dispose of the evidence when your hunger demands satisfaction. Your feeding grounds stretch across 3 villages nestled in the valley below. The mortals there know your legend but consider you a myth, a bedtime story told to frighten children into obedience. How wrong they are. Twice each week you descend like mist through their streets, selecting your prey with the care of a connoisseur choosing fine wine. The baker's daughter with her rosy cheeks and quick heartbeat, the blacksmith whose blood runs hot from the forge's fire, the traveling merchant whose veins carry tales from distant lands. You take them quietly, leaving behind only pale corpses and whispered rumors of plague or accident. But tonight feels different. The storm raging outside your walls carries more than rain and wind. It carries the scent of silver, blessed water, and something else. Something that makes your ancient blood recoil. You glide through your castle's corridors, past the armory where medieval weapons rust in eternal display. beyond the library where forbidden tomes bind knowledge too dangerous for mortal minds. Your bare feet make no sound on the cold stone as you follow that foreign scent deeper into your domain. The dungeon levels hold your most precious collections. Cells contain the remnants of those who dared challenge you. A vampire hunter from Prague whose bones you've arranged into artistic patterns. A priest whose blessed silver you've melted into goblets for your wine. A witch whose grimoire now serves as kindling for your fireplace. Their screams still echo in the stone if you listen carefully enough. These chambers remind you why mortals fear the dark, why mothers clutch their children close when storm clouds gather, why travelers avoid the mountain roads after sunset. You pause at a massive iron door, its surface carved with symbols that predate written language. Beyond lies your greatest treasure, the heart chamber, where you store the life essence of every soul you've claimed. Crystalline vials line the walls, each containing a swirling luminous mist, the very essence of human existence distilled into its purest form. Some glow bright as starlight, others pulse like dying embers. Together they form a constellation of stolen lives that grants you power beyond mortal comprehension. This is why you cannot die, why silver merely stings instead of burns, why the sun brings discomfort but not destruction. Yet tonight, as your fingers trace the cold iron, uncertainty creeps through your immortal frame. The scent grows stronger, accompanied by the rhythmic sound of footsteps echoing through your castle's bowels. Heavy boots, measured pace, the confident gait of someone who knows exactly where they're going. Your enhanced hearing picks up the whisper of leather against stone, the soft clink of metal tools, the steady heartbeat of someone unafraid of death. You've encountered vampire hunters before, desperate fools armed with wooden stakes and religious fervor, scholars clutching ancient texts they barely understand, mercenaries seeking glory and gold. They all ended the same way, drained dry and added to your collection. But this one feels different. This one moves through your castle like they've studied its layout, navigating passages that should confuse even the most experienced explorer. They avoid the trapped corridors, sidestep the pressure plates that would release poison darts, and somehow pass through areas where your shadow hounds patrol without triggering an alarm. More disturbing are the whispers that have reached your ears through networks of supernatural gossip. Rumors speak of a hunter unlike any other, one who doesn't seek your destruction but carries something far more dangerous: hope. They say this hunter possesses knowledge of a cure, a way to reverse the vampire's curse and return the undead to mortal flesh. The very concept should be laughable. You've spent centuries perfecting your transformation, becoming something beyond human weakness. Yet something about these rumors makes your dead heart skip. The storm outside intensifies, rain hammering against ancient stones like skeletal fingers demanding entry. Lightning illuminates your castle's exterior in stark, violent flashes, casting dancing shadows that seem to move with malevolent intent. Thunder rolls across the mountains, each crash echoing through your halls like the footsteps of approaching doom. The very air thrums with electricity and menace, as if nature itself has aligned against your reign. You ascend to your castle's highest tower, where panoramic windows offer a view of your entire domain. Through the storm's fury, you can see lights moving in the valley below, torches carried by villagers who huddle in their homes, praying to gods who abandoned this land centuries ago. But there, at the base of the mountain road, a single figure climbs through the tempest. They move with purpose, unhindered by the wind and rain that would send any mortal seeking shelter. Your enhanced vision pierces the darkness, revealing details that would be invisible to human eyes. The hunter wears a long coat that billows behind them like wings, their face hidden beneath a wide-brimmed hat that sheds rain like armor. Silver weapons glint at their belt, not just stakes and crosses, but instruments you don't recognize. Tools that seem to pulse with their own inner light. Most unsettling of all, they climb without hesitation, as if they've made this journey before. You descend back into your castle's depths, rage and curiosity warring within your immortal soul. Your servants scatter before your approach, sensing the dangerous shift in your mood. The thralls press themselves against the walls, their vacant eyes reflecting terror they can no longer truly feel. Even your shadow hounds retreat, their supernatural instincts recognizing the storm gathering within their master's heart. The hunter's footsteps grow closer now, echoing through corridors that have witnessed centuries of bloodshed. You can hear their breathing, steady, controlled, unafraid. They pause at intersections, consulting something that crinkles like parchment, then continue with renewed confidence. Whatever map or guide they possess, it's leading them directly to your throne room, to the heart of your power. You position yourself in the Great Hall's center, surrounded by the portraits of your victims and the shadows of your legacy. Moonlight streams through stained glass windows, painting the floor in patterns of red and black. Your fangs extend fully and your eyes blaze with centuries of accumulated hunger. If this hunter seeks your destruction, they will find only their own doom. If they truly carry a cure, you will tear it from their corpse and destroy it before their cooling blood stains your ancient stones. The massive doors to your throne room begin to creak open. Lightning flashes illuminating a tall silhouette framed against the storm's fury. The hunter steps forward, water dripping from their coat onto stones worn smooth by ages of your reign. They raise their head, and for the first time in 300 years, you see eyes that hold no fear, only grim determination and something else. Something that looks disturbingly like pity. The hunter's hand moves slowly to their belt, fingers closing around the hilt of a silver blade that seems to drink the moonlight. The weapon emerges from its sheath with a whisper of metal against leather, its surface inscribed with symbols that make your ancient flesh crawl. You bare your fangs fully, allowing your true nature to manifest in all its terrifying glory, your eyes burning like coals in the darkness as the storm rages on outside. Jait, the blade catches moonlight like captured starfire, each etched symbol pulsing with holy radiance that burns your retinas. You've seen blessed silver before, crude crosses wielded by trembling priests, amateur stakes carved by desperate farmers. But this weapon radiates power that makes your bones ache. The hunter's grip is steady, professional, as if they've held this blade for decades. Their breathing remains controlled despite climbing through a storm that would kill most mortals, despite standing face to face with a creature that has slaughtered thousands. You're smaller than the legends claimed, they say, voice carrying an accent you can't place. Something ancient, European perhaps, but tinged with dialects that died before your transformation. 300 years of terror and you're just another parasite feeding on fear. Your laughter echoes through the throne room like breaking glass. And you're just another fool who thinks blessed metal can kill what shouldn't exist. You circle them slowly, silk robes whispering against stone, each movement calculated to display your supernatural grace. Do you know how many hunters I've buried beneath these foundations? Their bones make excellent mortar, but something in their stance gives you pause. Most hunters fumble with their weapons, hands shaking from terror or adrenaline. This one holds their blade like an extension of their arm, point steady as a compass needle. They've fought vampires before, not fledglings or desperate turned peasants, but ancient ones, old ones. You catch the scent of vampire blood on their coat, not fresh but ingrained like a butcher's apron soaked in years of slaughter. I know about the heart chamber, they continue, taking a measured step forward. Every soul you've stolen, every life essence crystallized in those vials. That's not just feeding, that's hoarding power like a dragon hoards gold. You're not satisfied with mere survival, you want godhood. The words hit deeper than any silver blade could penetrate. How do they know about your greatest secret? The heart chamber's existence is hidden behind layers of supernatural concealment, protected by wards that would fry mortal minds attempting to perceive them. Yet this hunter speaks with intimate knowledge, as if they've studied your methods for decades. You've been watching me, you realize, fangs extending further as fury builds in your chest. How long? Long enough to know your patterns, the baker's daughter on Tuesday nights. You drain her slowly because her terror tastes sweeter than her blood. The blacksmith on Fridays, you take him quick because his strength amuses you. The traveling merchants, you question them about distant lands before you kill them, collecting information like you collect their souls. Each word lands like a physical blow. Your feeding schedule, refined over centuries, has become predictable to someone patient enough to observe. The hunter continues circling, matching your movements, maintaining perfect distance, close enough to strike, far enough to dodge your supernatural speed. Thunder crashes overhead, shaking dust from ancient rafters. The storm has reached its peak, rain hammering against stained glass with increasing violence. Your shadow hounds should have detected this intrusion hours ago, but their absence speaks to preparation that spans months, perhaps years. This hunter hasn't stumbled into your domain. They've planned this confrontation with military precision. What do you want? You snarl, abandoning pretense. If you're here for revenge, join the queue. If you seek gold, I have none that doesn't turn to ash in sunlight. If you want glory, you'll find only death. The hunter's free hand reaches into their coat, producing a vial filled with liquid that glows like its crystal container, pulsing with rhythm-captured moonbeams. The substance swirls within that matches a mortal heartbeat. Your enhanced senses recoil from its presence. It smells of life, of warmth, of everything your cursed existence has abandoned. I want to give you a choice, they say, holding the vial between you like an offering. This isn't holy water or blessed oil. It's something older, something from before vampires learned to fear silver and sunlight. It's possibility. Your eyes narrow, studying the liquid's hypnotic dance. A cure. The rumors were true. Not a cure, a reversal. Every vampire was human once. This doesn't destroy what you've become, it restores what you were. Your memories remain, your knowledge intact, but your hunger dies. Your need for blood, for power, for dominion over the living. All of it fades like morning mist. The offer hangs between you like a blade's edge. 3 centuries of existence have taught you that gifts come with prices, that hope is the cruelest poison mortals can offer the damned. Yet something about the hunter's certainty, their lack of fear, suggests truth beyond desperate bluffing. Why? The question escapes before you can stop it. Why offer redemption to a monster? I've killed thousands. I've turned children into thralls, drained holy men until their faith curdled in their veins, collected suffering like vintage wine. What mercy could possibly extend to something like me? The hunter's expression softens slightly, though their grip on both blade and vial never wavers. Because I was like you once. Because someone offered me the same choice and I was too proud to take it. Because watching you feast on that baker's daughter reminded me of watching myself destroy everything I'd once sworn to protect. The revelation strikes like lightning. Another vampire, one who chose differently, one who found redemption and now offers it to others. The scars you'd attributed to battle suddenly make sense. Marks left by transformation's reversal, evidence of mortality reclaimed from undeath's embrace. This hunter knows your hunger because they've felt it, understands your isolation because they've endured centuries of it. Rain pounds against the windows with renewed fury, and somewhere in the castle's depths, you hear stone grinding against stone. Ancient mechanisms activate, sealing passages and preparing defenses you haven't needed in decades. Your castle itself recognizes the threat this encounter represents, not to your existence but to your certainty. The choice isn't without consequence, the hunter warns, raising the vial higher. Mortality means vulnerability. You'll age, you'll sicken, you'll die. The power you've accumulated over 3 centuries evaporates like breath on winter air. Every enemy you've made, every family you've destroyed, every village you've terrorized, they'll remember you as human, mortal, killable. Your fingers trace the obsidian throne's carved armrest, feeling grooves worn by centuries of contemplation. This seat has been your anchor through ages of change, your constant in a world that shifts like shadows. To abandon it means abandoning everything you've built, everything you've become. And if I refuse, you ask, though you already know the answer. The hunter's blade catches another flash of lightning, silver surface blazing with holy fire. Then I do what I came here to do. I end the nightmare you've become, scatter your ashes to the storm, and turn those crystallized souls in your heart chamber back to the light they came from. The ultimatum settles over the throne room like a shroud. Choose mortality and face the consequences of centuries of evil as a vulnerable human, or face destruction at the hands of someone who understands your nature better than you understand it yourself. Neither path offers the continued dominion you've enjoyed, the endless nights of power and feeding and absolute control. Your enhanced hearing picks up new sounds. Not the hunter's steady heartbeat or the storm's fury, but something else. Whispers from the heart chamber, souls stirring in their crystalline prisons as if sensing potential freedom. The very essence of your power calling out for release, for the peace you've denied them through centuries of supernatural imprisonment. The hunter takes another step forward, and you realize the distance between you has closed to mere feet. This close, you can see details that supernatural senses had missed. Laugh lines around their eyes suggesting joy reclaimed, calluses on their hands from honest work rather than weapons. The faint scent of baking bread clinging to their clothes, evidence of a life rebuilt, humanity restored, redemption made manifest. Your fangs retract slightly as uncertainty wars with rage. The vial's glow seems to intensify, liquid swirling faster as if responding to your internal struggle. Behind you, the portraits of your victims watch with painted eyes that no longer seem accusatory but hopeful, as if even in death they recognize the possibility of justice finally served. The storm reaches crescendo outside, thunder and lightning merging into continuous assault against your castle's ancient stones. In that chaos of sound and fury, you hear something else. The distant echo of church bells from the valley below, their bronze voices carrying across the night despite the tempest's rage. The villagers are praying, huddled in their homes, asking their god for protection from the darkness that has plagued them for 3 centuries. Your grip tightens on the throne's armrest until the obsidian cracks beneath your fingers. The hunter waits, blade and vial held steady, offering damnation or salvation with equal certainty. Your choice will echo through eternity, continue as the monster you've perfected, or risk everything on the possibility of reclaimed humanity. Silver blade rises higher, catching moonlight that streams through storm-lashed windows, while the vial's glow pulses like a captured heartbeat in the hunter's outstretched hand. The moment stretches like eternity, rain hammering your castle walls while lightning illuminates the hunter's determined face. Their blade trembles slightly, not from fear, but from the weight of centuries pressing against this single instant. You can smell the holy water blessed into the steel, feel its radiance burning your supernatural flesh even from this distance. Yet the vial in their other hand pulses with something far more terrifying than any weapon: hope. Your mind races through calculations perfected over 300 years of survival. The hunter stands within striking range, close enough for your supernatural speed to close the distance before mortal reflexes could respond. One swift movement would end this confrontation. Add another corpse to your collection, another portrait to your gallery of the damned. The familiar hunger stirs in your chest, whispering promises of warm blood and final victory. But something holds you frozen on your obsidian throne. Perhaps it's the certainty in their stance, the way they hold that glowing vial like a priest holds communion wine, sacred, precious, transformative. Perhaps it's the exhaustion that has crept into your bones after centuries of the same patterns. Hunt, feed, rule, repeat. The endless cycle of darkness that once thrilled you now feels like chains forged from your own choices. You hesitate, the hunter observes, voice cutting through thunder's roar. In all my research, every account described you as decisive, ruthless, yet here you sit contemplating an offer you should have rejected immediately. Their words sting because they carry truth. The vampire lord who terrorized 3 kingdoms would never have entertained such foolishness. That creature would have painted these walls with hunter blood before the first word of redemption escaped their lips. But that was before the loneliness settled into your bones like winter frost, before the weight of endless nights began crushing even your immortal spirit. I have watched empires rise and crumble. You whisper, voice barely audible above the storm. Seen plagues sweep away entire bloodlines, witness the birth and death of gods mortals no longer remember. Do you know what remains constant through all that change? Hunger. The need that drives me from shadow to shadow, village to village, throat to throat. The hunter's eyes never waver as they await your answer. Silver blade catching each lightning flash like captured starfire. The vial's glow intensifies, pulsing with the rhythm of a heartbeat you haven't felt in 3 centuries. Your choice hangs in the air between you. Embrace the mortality you abandoned long ago, or face destruction at the hands of someone who understands your darkness better than you do. The storm rages on outside your ancient walls, and in its fury you hear the whispers of every soul trapped in your heart chamber, calling out for the freedom you've denied them. Your fangs extend fully as you rise from your obsidian throne, immortal eyes blazing with centuries of accumulated power, ready to seal your fate with whatever decision your cursed heart can still make.